All right, I just watched episode 8 of Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation, the Fiance of Despair. And overall, I thought it was a pretty good episode. I enjoyed my time with it. There was some laughs, there was some action. We got to see some people. We got to see Badagadi, a fan favorite character, finally get his chance to shine, and it was a lot better than I thought. I think the one thing anybody who's been reviewing Mushoku Tensei is going to tell you is that there's a lot of stuff being cut out right now, and I've just kind of accepted it. And I'm going to touch on it a little bit later in this video, but there you can definitely tell that they're definitely trying to get to the labyrinth arc, where they find a certain character, and they're just kind of going through the motions. I don't know if that's the right analogy to say, but I thoroughly enjoyed the episode, even though knowing what I know about what the content is going to be skipped. So I'm definitely, I think the best part about this season is that I'm rereading the light novel, but also any news. I remember I did a reaction to him when he did the video about Sarah. I'm excited for his video because he just has like an insight that I wish I could have about Mushoku Tensei. So to kind of go through the episode, we got to see a lot more of Cliff. Right, I think I love this part, even though I've gotten used to the show having an opening and ending. I love this part where they just focus on the character right before the opening, right? And Cliff was that character this time. For a lot of people, if you remember, we first met Cliff in the OVA, Eris the Goblin Slayer, where she and Cliff and Eris team up to kill some goblins, ironically. Plus some other shit pops off regarding Cliff in particular, but you see what Cliff used to be, this cocky, like arrogant brat, because he's very good with magic, and Eris comes in and basically like chin checks him, humbles him because of how much, how great Rudy is. And that's why, for a lot of people who are wondering, that's why fucking Cliff doesn't like him. That's why Cliff doesn't like Rudy, because like before they even met, he already lost to Rudy. Because anybody watched that OVA, which was fantastic, by the way, the minute Eris starts glazing like Rudy, it's over. Cliff immediately knows. And yeah, it was just like that. So, I've been kind of waiting. We all got a little glimpse of him, or a little taste pause, when Rudy first got there. But now we finally got to see more of Cliff. And we got to see the start of one of the best ships in Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation. We got to see the kind of riz that Cliff has, even though we didn't really get to see it because we don't get to see how Cliff won Elinalise over, and for him it was love at first sight. And like I was in when I remember when I read it, I was like, no way, because Elinalise is for the streets. And I'm only saying that because of her curse. I think a lot of people, I feel like I always have to say this with Elinalise. She's a lot deeper of a character than you think she is. Even how in order to like cure her curse, she has to, sleep with dudes. But she's very careful about how she does it. She's very careful about how she does it. So when Cliff comes up to like basically, after Rudy introduces them to basically confess to her, I wish we stayed on them longer so we could see what Cliff does, because the light novel obviously tells us what Cliff does to win Elinalise over, but viewers don't get to see it. So anime onlys are just they're getting shafted right now because of how much cut content is being skipped. That's why I said, when the first 4 episodes of this season, which basically followed the 7th volume of the light novel, should have been a movie. They should have just Mugen Trained it, and I think it would have been fantastic. But that's just me sitting there wondering. It's great to see them, Cliff and Elinalise get together, and to see that Elinalise obviously, you see in the little conversation she has with Rudy when she was going to turn Cliff down, and Rudy they kind of talk it out a little bit. You see that she takes these matters very seriously, despite her probably initial first impression and how she generally acts. But I'm excited to see. I'm trying my hardest not to spoil, because Cliff now has a real goal in life, which is to cure Elinalise of her disease, of her curse. And oh boy, let me stop talking because I'm gonna start spoiling, and I don't need to do that. Obviously, we got to see more of Sylphie and Rudy talk, especially Sylphie starting to freak out especially when Rudy asked Sylphie for relationship advice, and she freaked out. But you know, this is where I'm like, anime onlys are gonna get pissed because I'm like, just fucking tell them. Even though she keeps kind of like dropping hints or saying stuff that pertains to her, but she just doesn't get it. So, and then also we got to see her jealous side when Renia and Persona, it was because it's in winter and all the beast kin or the beast, you know, people are in heat. So they ironically they duel it out to see like marriage and stuff. And since Renia and Persona are technically subordinates of Rudy, they both just leave it up to Rudy, and now Rudy has to like fight all these people, and these people are like, if I beat you, I get to marry them, and Rudy just like, what the fuck? But ironically, there's a very important character that I hope you guys missed. You know that blue-haired girl that was just kind of there, even though she didn't say anything. I'm very curious to see how next episode starts, because if it was me, I might start with her because she's like a little insight. She could give us a little insight into where Eris is right now, because I know some anime onlys are asking about that. So she's very important. I don't want to name her yet because I want to see what happens next episode, and if they do what I think is gonna do, obviously that will handle it for me. But if not, I'll talk about who she is next episode. But we got to see her, and then Rudy, when Sylphie tells Rudy that there's a girl waiting in line too, he gets excited because he's like, fuck, I just don't want to fight dudes. And then you don't see like that, what was Sylphie like? Oh, and like she's like got that jealous face on and hating on Rudy. But I thought the episode was very well done despite all the cut content we got. Badagadi was amazing. I see why I really like him too as a character. Oh boy. And also like Rudy fully cements his status at school as basically the most powerful person, because it's kind of, I really liked how we basically got to see how powerful Rudy is in a non-life threatening way, you know? And then Rudy thought shit was sweet, but Badagadi got him right back. But I'm pretty sure he held his punches. But I also, one thing I want to say, I hope you guys really paid attention to the entire conversation between Rudy and Badagadi, because there was a lot of subtle hints toward the overall like story direction that I don't want to spoil, that I think if you just go on YouTube, somebody will spoil, obviously, but I just don't want to do it. And you know, I enjoyed the interaction. Still, there's a lot of cut content, but like I said, at this point, you just kind of accept that this is how it's gonna go. So anyway, that was basically it. We got to see the maybe the best ship, one of the best ships in the series set sail finally. We still got Sylphie kind of messing around, but we're getting to a turning point. Obviously, Badagadi pulling up and officially joining the special student class was nice. Renia and Persona, we got to see some more Zanoba, because I'm always down for some more Zanoba, and that's it. The next episode, episode 9, The Silent Mask, we finally get to meet Silent, the lady or the other classmate of Rudy and Zanoba and the rest of the special student class, who Zanoba mentioned briefly that, remember, Silent never comes to class. She has like her own research room where she's doing research. And for those in the know who've watched the anime, we've already met Silent before. So I'm not going to tell you when you met her or what happened when you met her, but we've met Silent before, and I'm excited for next episode. There's a lot of good things next episode could do, and hopefully that blue-haired girl gets a little bit of a spotlight too, because it was just like for people who don't know or anime onlys, like her appearance in the story could just seem like this weird thing, but she's important in her own way. I'm not saying she's massively important to the entire story, but she's important. So anyway, guys, that's it. I thought the episode was pretty good. A lot of cut content, but stay, like, you guys just be on the lookout for the Any News video. I know he also streams on Twitch, but unfortunately I have to miss it this time. Other than that, I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. It had everything, some action, some comedy, some like, you know, it was like Mushoku Tensei, and like just showing that Rudy's school life for the last like few days that we got to see in the anime was wild, you know, dueling, all this stuff. But it was a fun episode. See you guys next week for episode 9, The Mask of Despair. Oh no, The Silent Mask. Sorry, The Silent Mask. Episode 9, The Silent Mask. And it should be I'm expecting very good things. So anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I will see you guys next week. Thank you all for watching.